Like we haven't done this in forever.
What?
All right. What's up, everybody? I'm Eddie. This is Nicole. You're watching the Puzzle Podcast with Eddie and Nicole here on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. We are presented by Quality Content and also sponsored by 4 Point Puzzles, Puzzledly, the Very Good Puzzle Company, and the Wander Puzzle Company. I've got a wonderful show for you tonight. Tonight, we're going to be talking about a Texas mom who got arrested for posing as her 13-year-old daughter at the school to prove a point. We're going to be talking about some other things that I can't think of right now. But rather than waste time trying to talk about that, we're just going to go ahead and just jump right into our first story. A Texas mom is facing criminal charges after she dressed up like her middle school daughter and attended school as a part of a social experiment. Casey Garcia, age 30, darkened her hair and put on her 13-year-old daughter Julie's clothes, glasses, makeup, and a mask, according to her YouTube documentation, and went to Garcia Enriquez Middle School in San Elizario, Texas, last week, pretending to be her. Garcia made it almost the entire day, she said, before someone finally noticed she wasn't Julie. After a teacher caught Garcia, the school notified the El Paso County Sheriff's Office. Garcia was later arrested and charged with 1 count of criminal trespass and tampering with government record, according to multiple reports. She was also charged with an unrelated traffic warrant. In a YouTube video uploaded on June 2nd called, quote, "Going to School as My 13-Year-Old Daughter, Middle School Edition," unquote, Garcia documented her entire day as a fake middle school student. Do I look like a 7th grader? No. Cool. Awesome. Garcia said to the camera before saying good morning to multiple people walking by the hallway. When I finally got caught, Garcia said to the camera toward the end of the video, quote, "I told them I would go to the principal's office, so I guess we're going to see what happens." According to CNN, the school district superintendent put out a statement to parents confirming there had been a breach in security. Quote, "I want to reassure you that our security measures are being reviewed and evaluated." In a follow-up video posted June 3rd, Garcia said that she was able to easily sign in and enter the school with Julie's school ID number. She added that she didn't pose as her daughter, quote, likes, which is alluding to a different situation that happens a few weeks back, but rather to prove how unsafe schools are. Garcia said the teachers hardly paid attention to the students who were physically in class and were more concerned with virtual learners. She also said teachers only paid attention to her when she had her phone out. Garcia said it wasn't until her daughter's last class that a teacher finally noticed she wasn't Julie. When the teacher asked her why she was posing as her daughter, Garcia said it was for a, quote, social experiment. Quote, "I wanted to see if I can make it the entire day without anybody noticing. I did this to prove a point. We need better security at our schools. That is what I tried to prove. And I don't mean to be curt, but I kind of feel like I proved it." What?
I was just reading.
Hey, Monica. Monica. Sorry.
I think it's sad that, this was middle school.
Mm-hmm.
It's scary and it's sad that you had to go to those links to prove a point. And I'm wondering why she felt she had to prove that point. Like, did something happen beforehand to where she didn't think her daughter was safe? Or, did something happen to where, she didn't feel like they were paying attention to the kids the way they need to be paid attention to? Because I know, I'm at elementary school, and so you can't, first of all, you can't drive. So it's not like you can drive and then come into the school. You either have to be dropped off, you're walking or riding a bike or on a bus, and there's always somebody at each post, each door, each walkway. So how can you, I mean, I get it, there are a lot of children coming in, but still, I mean, I don't know, like, if you go into your classroom, how do you call roll, and how do you take roll? Like, I physically have to look at every child to see if you are here. Like, I'm looking at your face. So that shows me that you are not paying attention at all. For it to go to the last class, like, that makes no sense. And I'm kind of on the fence about, whether it was right or wrong. I mean, I feel like she proved her point, and I feel like there needs to be a better way, a better security, safety measures for the kids. Because what if it wasn't a parent of a child? What if it was a stalker, of a child that was there? Or what if it was a jealous wannabe boyfriend, or girlfriend? Like, that's scary to know that I'm a parent working at someplace different, and anything can happen to my child because you are not paying attention. And I get, you're doing virtual too, but every child matters. And I guess how do they do virtual? Because I thought that, there were, I mean, that's the way elementary does it was, there was a time where you taught, in person, but then there was a time also where you would do virtual. So that they were doing virtual and in person together. Like, that makes no sense to me, I guess. But, middle school is different. I guess, like I said, I'm on the fence of whether or not she was right or wrong, because, I mean, this is one parent who to go to the ends of the earth for her child, and I can't fault her for that. You've seen a problem, no one would do anything about it. And I guess, did you say something about, the security there in that, matter? And if you did, then, I mean, what else are you going to do?
Yeah, I'm with you. I would like to know more about why she decided this was what she wanted to do. I feel like she was upset for good reason. Maybe there was a breach in security that took place before and no one did anything. Maybe something to her daughter and no one knew what happened, and so she wanted to prove a point. Mm-hmm. Who knows? It doesn't give us details as to what's going on with that. But I will say that her success, I'm gonna call it successful.
Yeah. End of school.
She got all the way to the last class. Like, this was pretty much a success for me. Like, it's concerning because what this shows us is that, all the violence that we see happening in our schools, and all the violence that we see happening in other areas is because people are not aware of who is supposed to be in these spaces. Me working, for a prison, that's something that we're always concerned about. Where are you supposed to be? You're not supposed to be here. Where are you supposed to be? If you're not here, that means that someone's counting right now and you're not where you're at. You need to go where you need to go before they lock you down. But for a lot of people, obviously, people are operating on autopilot. They just assume that a person, in response to the role or whatever, they're just going to go about their business. Like, they're not checking to make sure that these people are who they are. And that's how a lot of what we see happening in our schools goes down the way that it goes down. Now, I'm not advocating for increased security, like doing metal detectors and things like that, like she said toward the end of the write-up. But at the same time, I'm also concerned that, if you're not going to be paying attention to who's supposed to be in your classroom, then what are you doing? Because you're saying that you are being held accountable for every student that's in your classroom. Like, she wasn't a student. That means that the student that she was posing as wasn't in the school. Exactly. So where was she?
You marked her presence.
When she wasn't
God,
there.
you know where she was.
She was home. Exactly. But still, that's what we're talking about. Like, this for all we know, somebody could have kidnapped said girl, told a kidnapping accomplice, you pose as her this day, that'll give us enough time to run, and then you leave and go and do what you got and come find us later on. And so for that whole 8-hour stretch, you don't know where the kid at no more. Like that's the what rolls through my head. So again, I'm not mad at her. It was wrong, and she shouldn't have done it. But it proved a point that y'all keeping these kids secure, keeping them safe. Obviously, people are not stepping up and making sure that these kids are where they're supposed to be and what they're supposed to be doing. And so I hope that the superintendent, I hope that the school board looks at this, examines this, and makes sure, just to make sure these teachers are aware. Again, I'm not advocating that they turn into military, brats or whatever, or military style schools or whatever, but just make sure that these teachers are holding themselves accountable and being held accountable by their supervisors to make sure that these kids are supposed to be. Because again, that's how bad stuff happens, when people are not checking for stuff. Like, you got Johnny who never wore a trench coat in his whole life. All of a sudden, he got a whole trench coat on. Brady, what's wrong with you today? It's 90 degrees outside. Why you got a trench coat on? We got to work. What's this?
And that's what I was just thinking. Like you said, it's not that you have to get the whole, detectors and stuff like that and pat them down. Mm-mm. Teachers need to pay attention. Pay attention in your classroom. Like, I know it's hard at the beginning of the school year because, it's new kids, new year and stuff like that. But this was like recently, like you know their faces, their attitudes, their character. Like, pay attention, even if it's somebody that it is the right child there, but their character is off. Something's wrong with them. You can tell by their actions or whatever. Pay attention. I know, we got a lot to deal with as far as, all the kids in the classroom, but I mean, when you notice that one off,
and like I said, like the write-up said, rather, like she was covered, like she had a hood on. Baby, you gotta take that hood off.
Exactly.
I need to see some face.
But see, is that a rule in the school? Because I know that's one of our rules. You can't wear hats in the school.
Right.
Like, is that a rule in their school?
Well, I'm pretty sure that maybe it's not, because it's a hoodie, so maybe they can wear hoodies. But again, say you wearing a hoodie, wearing shades. No, boo, I need to see your face. That again, you can look cool all you want to. I need to see your face. Then you can put the shades back on. Just little stuff like that. That's all we're saying. Like, pay attention to who's in your classrooms. Because again, this woman could have been psychotic and could have done indescribable harm to some kids or to some adults or some security staff or whatever, and no one would have paid attention to who this woman was until after the fact. That's all we're saying. Like, thank God it was just a social experiment to prove a point. She got arrested, whatever. But it could have been worse. Yeah. This could have been on the 9 o'clock news talking about we got another school shooting. 19 kids done got killed over something that could have been prevented if you just would have said, hey, you don't belong here. Mm-hmm. So again, just pay attention to pay attention to who's in your classrooms, pay attention to what's going on, be aware. I'm not saying be hyper vigilant, but just be aware. Don't be so security minded that you can't teach. But just be aware. Like, again, going back to what I said, with her being in that kid's place, where was the kid?
I wonder how the teacher finally found out. And then too, what were her friends like? Were they part of it?
No, the friends didn't know who she was either. The friends thought that was her. She was. I guess
they look alike.
Listen, again, we probably should have researched it further to see all that. Cause no, I mean, I didn't either. But again, the friends fell for it, so it's like no one was paying attention. I guess they felt, oh, she must be having a bad day today. I ain't gonna bother her. Whatever. Like, no, hey, what? Hey, hi, how are you? How's your soul? Something, but. At any rate, Yeah, like I said, just pay attention to who's in your classrooms, pay attention, be aware, and everything else in between. If you got any questions or comments, fill out the comment box below. We'll try to get to them as best we can. You are watching the Puzzle Podcast with Eddie and Nicole right here on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. We are presented by Quality Content, and also presented and also sponsored by 4 Point Puzzles, the very good puzzle company, Puzzledly, and the Wander Puzzle Company. We are moving on to our next story. This is coming out of Utah. The write-up says cheerleading manager with Down syndrome left out of the team photo in the junior high yearbook. Family of a Utah student, Utah teen with Down syndrome says they're grateful for the support she received from friends in the community after she wasn't included in the cheerleading team photo used in her school's yearbook. Go ahead.
Would you just read? Oh. Morgan Arnold, 14, was the manager for the Shoreline Junior High School cheer squad. Her father, Jeffrey Arnold, told CNN she would attend games and cheer and participate in other activities to boost school spirit. She posed for one photo with the team and was seated in the middle of the front row. Her father said when she got her yearbook on the last day of 8th grade, she realized a different photo that didn't include her was used. She walked in and shows it to me. She says, "I'm not here, but these are my friends and I love them." Punks. We are deeply saddened by the mistake that was made. We continue to look into what occurred and why it occurred. Apologies have been made to the family and we sincerely apologize to others impacted by this era.
What's talking about the cry?
Because the burp won't come out. It's just stuck there. We will continue to address it with the parents of the student. We will continue to look at our processes to ensure this does not happen again, the statement said. Arnold said he'd had positive conversations with school officials since the yearbook came out and hopes they can take action to make sure this doesn't happen again. Since the yearbook came out, Arnold said the other girls on the team have rallied around Morgan. Awesome. Arnold said the cheerleaders and the families have had to deal with some very malicious hate and disgusting comments. Jealous. On social media, punks. The outpouring and rallying of love by the girls, these cheerleaders, only shows very distinctly that these cheerleaders were Morgan's friends. They were inclusive of her and continue to be, and they were just as disappointed to see this. They're showing through their example the proper way to support and help in situations like this, and others are making it worse by their hatred and nastiness of their comments. Arnold and Morgan would be back at the school next year for 9th grade, but said he didn't know if she would be involved in cheerleader. I do not blame you, sir. Don't blame you at all. I think it's very hateful, very mean.
Take it.
And it's not. So who is over the yearbook? Because I'm pretty sure it's not just kids. It has to be adults too. So for that not to be put in the yearbook just shows that it's not, y'all people, it's not just kids that are bullies to other people, but it's adults as well. And it's so sad and it's so sickening and it disgusts me and it pisses me off. And I'm glad that, her friends are behind her on this. And, for a minute, I was trying to think to myself, maybe it was a mistake and maybe they just was looking at all the pictures and they liked that one best and didn't realize she wasn't there. But no, boo. No, you have to realize this girl sitting in the front and no. Why would you take another picture with her not there in the first place? Like, why? I don't understand that. So for them to do that, it just shows that it's not, I can't say it's surprising, but it's very disappointing. It's very disappointing knowing in my heart, I feel that it was an adult's decision at the end of the day. Like that's what ticks me off. Like you can't, it's the smallest power someone has, like, can just abuse it just like that. And I hate that.
Done.
Good for them. Good for her friends. I'm very proud of them.
Go
parents.
You sound like you about to cry.
Hmm.
You sound like you about to cry. So I'm you hit it on the what I wanted to go, and so that's where I'm gonna go. Whose idea was it to take a second photo without her? Like, I wish that they would have shown us the two pictures, the one that they took and the different one that she wasn't in. I wish they would have took both of them so that way we could see what. Oh, so that would dang, right on it too. I wish we could have seen the two different pictures. Nice. Wish we could have seen which one. Let me do this.
Okay.
I wish we could have seen both photos because for me, it baffles my mind that she wasn't there for the second photo, the one that was used. And so that leads me to believe that it was in someone's mind to go to do this way before it even hit the yearbook. Like, as if to say that she doesn't matter. And so for me, that's what I'm trying to figure out. Like, no, the light is. That's what I'm trying to figure out. Like, whose idea was it to take second photo without the girl, without the child? Mm-hmm. And whose idea was it to put that one in the yearbook? Because again, in middle school, I don't think they have a yearbook club like that. Like, I think that's more high school than middle school.
I mean, even if they did, it has to go through administration.
Well, right. And so again, let's put that on the table for a second. If it was kids putting said book together and it goes through administration, then I can kind of see how that may have. I said kind of, in that you seen one yearbook, you seen them all. So, okay, every picture looks good. Ain't nobody doing nothing risque, wrong cheating. We ain't got to take none of that kind of stuff out. Okay, it's good. Let's go. And so now, if in that photo they list everybody on the team, including the manager, and they say manager not shown, that's when I got problems. That's why I said I wish they would have. No. That's what I'm saying. I wish we could have seen the yearbook because that's what I want to know.
They showed the picture.
They showed the picture of her. They showed the picture with her in it. They didn't show the picture that was used in the yearbook, let alone show us the yearbook. If they would have said not shown cheerleading manager such and such, oh, we got problems. Oh, we finna fight. Because now you deliberately went out of your way to not have her in this photo. And for what point or purpose? Like, what, you scared of a reputation? Like, she doesn't fit the mold or the standard for the prettiness or the whatever of cheerleading in middle school, for crying out loud. Like, who cares? Like, so what y'all afraid somebody's gonna look at that picture and be like, ugh, like, so that shows how ugly your heart is. Mm-hmm. That you think so little of yourself that you have to denigrate someone else who has done great things despite limitations. Yeah. Being a great asset to this team, considering how everybody rallied around her, how everybody embraced her, especially after this thing came out, they just rallied behind her even more. It's not like these were mean girls. Thank God they weren't mean girls. Okay. And so, so y'all had the mean spirit. These grown-ups had the mean spirit to let this pass. Yeah. And so, again, I'm going to pull you. Thinking about my girls. Let somebody do that to my child. Oh, we going to the board.
I'm bringing mama.
We're going to the board. Like, no, you don't do. No, you're not. No, we're not doing this. My daughters did just as much work, earn that spot, earn that keep, and she gonna get that photo, even if they never win a competition, never do well all year long. She busted her behind to get to where she got, and daggum, she going in that yearbook. Yeah. And so again, I'm like any other parent. Like, no, if you did the work, You were there, you helped, you participated, you did all that stuff. You deserve, at the very least, to be recognized for that, and show them for omitting her by taking a second photo. Where, when, whenever, like, how dare y'all use that one, knowing that this girl posed for the official school photo? Like, that was, it's just beyond stupid. And so I'm glad that the parents stepped up and was like, no, we finna fix this. I'm glad that the cheerleading squad, was like, hey, we didn't sign up for this or whatever. But again, I'm still concerned. When was this other photo taken?
Yeah.
Because y'all knew.
I wonder why they took it.
Right.
I mean, not saying that it's their fault.
No, I'm not blaming the girls. No, blame them. No, like, why? Right. Was she late to the photo, or was she like going through something, and so they had to calm her down, get her, and so they took the first photo, then she calmed down and went in? Like, what, to where y'all felt like y'all needed to take this other photograph? The other photograph doesn't include her, and she's a part of the team. Period. Like, did they just take a cheerleaders only picture? Because she's not cheerleader, so that would make sense. But again, if she, no, but that's what I'm saying. That if it was a cheerleader, that makes sense. But that doesn't make sense. I don't see them. I don't even see a school doing that. Like, we're gonna take one just with the cheerleaders. Right. That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't see that. I see the individual pictures. Yeah. I can see that. I can even see some like candid photos of them cheerleading over the course of the year. But I don't see them official school 2021 team saying we're gonna take one with just the cheerleaders, then we're gonna do, the managers, then we're gonna put them together. Yeah. That doesn't make sense to me, especially considering that if they did that, they still omitted her picture. Exactly. So yeah. Got any questions or comments? Fill out that comment box below. We'll try to get to them as best as we can. You're watching the Puzzle Podcast with Eddie and Nicole here on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. We are presented by Quality Content, sponsored by 4 Point Puzzles, the very good puzzle company, Puzzledly, and the Wonder Puzzle Company. And we are also wearing these neat necklaces that have been made by the Prolific Puzzler on Instagram. You can find her at Prolific Puzzler. She makes jewelry out of puzzle pieces. And so I have a blue and green or blue and black puzzle piece, and my wife has a red and silver puzzle piece. Those are our favorite colors, respectively. And so thank you, Prolific Puzzler, for allowing us to show off your artwork. And if you guys are looking for some merch from her, hit her up at Prolific Puzzler on Instagram. Yes. And so hit her up, and again, she basically is just using used puzzle pieces and turning them into art. And so I'm very glad to be able to wear mine. She's wearing hers, and hope to keep this thing up as long as I can. Hope that my new dog don't fight on it anytime soon. All right, our next story is coming out of the NBA. Devin Booker gifts Suns fan who yelled "Suns in 4" during a fight in a signed jersey and playoff tickets. Late in the Phoenix Suns win over the Denver Nuggets in Game 3 of their playoff series, a Suns fan was involved in a fight that resulted in the fan punching a Nuggets fan several times. Following the fight, the Suns fan screamed, "Suns in 4," as the Nuggets fan vacated the area. The entire situation was caught on video and quickly went viral. As such, Suns star guard Devin Booker tweeted out that he was trying to find out the identity of the fan who yelled, "Suns in 4." According to ESPN's Zach Lowe, Booker's representatives at CAA were able to find the fan, Nick McKellar, and Booker is giving him a signed jersey along with tickets to a conference final. In interviews following the altercation, McKellar revealed that he engaged in some good-natured trash talk with Nuggets fans that were sitting near him, but claims he was only defending himself when the melee broke out. As of right now, the police have not been involved in the situation. McKellar would get to cheer on his Suns against either the Los Angeles Clippers and Jazz. Despite Kawhi Leonard suffering, it didn't matter because the series is on now. Go ahead.
You go ahead, because that's very random. That's so off.
Okay, so Go ahead. I know you want to. Go ahead. What?
So I get a signed jersey and some tickets for Yelling Sons in 4. I don't know. I guess it's just off to me. Like, you giving me, okay, for the person who got it, yay, what you do, you got it. I know he's happy and he's excited. But for the person who gave it, that's, I guess, all right, he a true fan, I guess, for getting in a fight over y'all. Really? I was watching something and I feel like it was Kevin Hart. And it was Kevin Hart and Will Smith when they were talking on the red table.
I need to watch that.
And they were like,
I need to watch that.
And he said, you know, people in this world always, you know, starting stuff and act like they want to fight other people. And he was like, they don't know how to fight, because they were talking about their kids. It was like, they do not know how to fight, but they always trying to, you know, start something. It was like, you know, someone knows how to truly fight when he knows how to walk away from one.
Ooh.
And I guess that just, I'm not going to say it rubs me the wrong way for him, you know, doing what he did for him, you know, yay, he's a true Suns fan.
Mm-hmm.
But we get in squabbles and fights over the dumbest things.
Dumbest things.
And like that whole sticks and stones, I know it is dumb. It's not. But still, what is a comment about another team? If you know it ain't your, oh my God, I can't even get my thoughts out right.
You trying to. You trying so hard.
Because it was to me, my opinion, it was dumb. Like, I always tell my girls, you know, people in this world, some people are mean, and people are gonna say things that are gonna hurt your feelings. But boo, who cares?
Right.
You know it ain't true. You know who you are. You know who you are in God, and you know what they say is dumb.
Mm-hmm.
So don't listen to it. Walk away.
Mm-hmm.
You know? And so I guess what was said, like if you I don't know. I can't even give a fuck. I can't do it. Suns and Ford. I'm gonna give you a jersey and you can come see my games. I want you to cheer us on even more. Fight for us.
Right.
Well, please.
That's right.
No.
So yeah,
all the time I'm gonna throw a punch the first time is if you coming for my family. You can talk all, because if I know it ain't true, I don't care. You talk about reputation and all that crap, whatever. This world's gonna end, and I don't know. But when I leave this world, ain't nobody gonna be thinking about y'all. Ain't nobody gonna be thinking about how you feel about me or my family. I throw a punch if you come for us.
Right.
You come try to harm us, then I you know, family for life. You know? But until then, say what you want to say, because I don't care. Like, I'm not.
It's ability for life.
I'm not gonna get in no squabble over no stupid man. They're gonna lose because they suck. Shut up. Really? Really?
All right. So, okay.
That was supposed to be a good thing, I guess, but
no. So okay. All right. So this is why I'm finna take this so left field, but this is why it's not good to have liquor.
Oh, that was drunk.
I had no goddamn basketball game.
Okay.
This is why don't need to be drinking no beer. Don't be drinking no beer, no Bud Light, no Budweiser, no Miller Lite, none of that stuff.
Everything
when you watching a basketball game, especially if you gonna be sitting next to people that's opposing you. Okay, they are not your friends.
Why were they sitting on the same side?
They don't have like visitor section, and no, you just buy the ticket. So you sit, and you next to somebody on well.
That's not good.
Well, clearly, especially if you drinking and you got a couple, kick the couple back, and you like Nuggets for life,
You looking for
Suns for life, bump you.
You looking for a fight, okay?
Sons and foes, like I think that's how it went down. And so I'm just for me, first off, like that's
I can
like,
only imagine, Eddie. You pulling the dude with the Nuggets fan away after y'all done squabbled.
Exactly.
I'm down.
Nuggets forever.
I'm down.
This is for my Denver.
My last words. Those are your last words.
Sons for life. So no. So again,
was it Sons for Life?
Sons
No,
and
it was Sons and Four.
Sons and Four.
Sons and Four.
Yeah, it wasn't even in 4 games, but whatever.
Keep going.
Anyway, so like for me, I'm just like, okay, I understand the anger and the animosity. It's your team rivalry. We've been to Wintersville here in Valdosta, so it can get stupid. That's where we don't go, because it gets stupid, ignorant. The one time we did go to a Wintersville game, we left early because we knew something was about to go down, and them jokers were trying to beat on our car as we were driving away, and we're like, nope. And this was the Lions game that we went to. We left early when the game ended, and like some people, like it's like one or two people banged on our door. We were driving away. Now it wasn't like they were like or anything like that. It was just, I guess we were Lions and Valdosta won the game in the end. And so Valdosta was like, yeah, we still won or whatever. Long story short, that's high school game, and it can get stupid. Okay, so I know a playoff game can get stupid. Okay, let get them. You cop it back. You know, a whole bunch of 40s, and you got a whole bunch of liquor in you, your team garbage or whatever, and you say the wrong thing to the wrong person at the wrong time, and all of a sudden they want to throw a blow at you. That's more than happened in this case. In the case of Devin Booker, I don't appreciate him celebrating someone who fought on the Suns' behalf, because ain't nothing he did or didn't do that helped the Suns win or lose. Exactly. So to gift him with tickets and a signed jersey and all that kind of stuff, I don't really appreciate all that much. But again, who am I?
And you can't say it was because of his support, because y'all got a lot of supporters.
You got you ain't giving everybody signed jerseys. You ain't giving everybody Suns and Info tickets. You ain't getting everybody conference tickets or whatever. So whatever, like
kick him out.
Right. He should have got kicked out too. But again, he was defending himself. I will give him that. He was defending himself, and so they got the person who started the fight. At least they did that much right. But again, at the end of the day, I don't fault Devin. I don't fault Devin Booker for giving away jerseys and tickets and stuff, because you do what you want to do. If you want to, because I'll tell you this: that very conference game that he went to, they were selling his shirt. They gave Sons and Four his picture doing the 4. They printed that onto shirts. No. They were giving it away. They were giving it away in support, like Sons and Four. Like, so it's become a thing now.
And I guess I see that as, like you said, I don't support what he did either, because you have so many other people, other different organizations that could use what you do. Yeah. Like he gave him what?
Tickets and a signed jersey.
You have so many different children who love you, like and love what you do and love the game. But you want to give someone who
fought. Sons and Four.
What is that saying?
Like, let me go make a TikTok video real quick.
Yeah, let me go.
Sons and Four.
Let me go start something and then yell out my team name and see if I can do something.
Right.
Like, I guess that. Okay.
We were arrested saying Hawks for life.
I guess that's how I look at it. And I know his intent probably wasn't like that.
Of course. Like, it's not like he was trying to it's not like he was trying to start something. It was just good old-fashioned trash talk. Your team sucks. My team's winning.
I'm talking about the Booker.
Booker. Oh, okay, yeah. Go. Okay, keep going. My bad.
Keep going.
So yeah, look, again, at the end of the day, like, I don't fault Devin Booker for doing what he did. It wasn't necessary. I'm mad it made news. It's really not that deep. But again, it did build camaraderie for the Suns fans. They came hype and showed up and showed out the 2 games that they were at home. I mean, so it worked in their favor to just further galvanize the fan base and give the players something to play for outside of just the championship. They played for their fans. So I mean, it worked out. It's not the end of the world. You know, again, I just guess for me, it's just another one of those things where we celebrate mediocrity. Like every time somebody does something dumb, they get celebrated for it. I don't understand it. Like, oh, here, Suns in 4. What the flipping deal? No one cares. Okay, like now I guess we're barely or recognizing, because it happens, but we barely recognize people who are doing spectacular things and gifting them with things. But, it's always the ones who do stupid stuff like getting into fights and yelling out random, phrases that all of a sudden get, catapulted and become instant celebrities overnight. He's probably got like 1 million followers now on Instagram just for saying something more. So, it is what it is. It's just another day in the life of, instant celebrity status here in the United States, let alone the world. So, of course, it's going to happen. He probably got interviewed and everything. If you have any questions or comments, fill out that comment box below. Try to get to them as fast as we can. You're watching the Puzzle Podcast with Eddie and Nicole here on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. We are presented by, I always say at that point, quality content. Also sponsored by 4 Point Puzzles, the Very Good Puzzle Company, Wonder Puzzle Company, and Puzzledly. Our next story is coming out of Washington, D.C. An incarcerated man has won via elect the title of Advisory Neighborhood Commissioner in Southeast D.C., a historic first in the city. Joel Caston, 44, has been in prison since he was 18 after committing an unnamed felony offense. Housed in the D.C. jail, he has promised to work diligently on its occupants' behalf. Members of the Advisory Neighborhood Commission, reportedly created to, quote, bring government closer to the people, served without pay for 2 years. The seat in District 7F07, which is home to the D.C. jail, the Harriet Tubman Women's Shelter, and residents of the newly built luxury apartment buildings, has been vacant for 12. Caston has pledged to represent the diverse interests of them all. According to an NBC News report, each candidate, a list that included 4 other inmates, made a video announcing their run for the seat. In this video, Caston said, imagine a single-member district where every voice matters, every concern is heard, and every person is valued. Asked in his candidate survey, come on, man, stop moving. Asked in his candidate survey why he wants to serve in the role, Caston's response was, quote, Dr. King once stated, quote, not everyone can be famous, but everyone can be great. Greatness is determined by service, unquote. I couldn't concur with the patriarch of the civil rights movement more. I believe that service is the duty of mankind. Thus, I'll be honored to serve as an ANC commissioner. He described himself as a youth advocate, author of criminal justice reform, and an investment curriculum titled Currency Catchers. I have strong communication skills. I'm fluent in English and Spanish. I have a good reputation with both my staff and my peers, and I intend to utilize these skills to be a voice for the voiceless. During his time incarcerated, Caston has served as a Christian worship leader, chief editor of its Inside Scoop publication, and the founding mentor of the Young Men Emerging program. The advocacy organization Neighbors for Justice helped facilitate Tuesday's election, in which Caston won 48 out of the 142 votes. Julie Johnson, his founder, said, quote, the election gives hope to the residents of the jail, knowing they now have a representative who will give voice and visibility to the issues they are experiencing.
Who won the other votes?
The other 4 inmates.
Oh, so the right, he won the most.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
All right.
Look, more power to you. At the beginning of this, I was like, really?
Me too. Because let me tell you how it starts out in the beginning. Joel Caston becomes first incarcerated person in Washington, D.C. to win elected office. That's how it started. And so we were both like,
what?
Huh?
Please, really? So this is what we do now. Because you put them in there and say that they have only so many rights. Like, they don't have the right to vote, but how are they allowed to be elected in an office? Like that's what confuses me. But I mean, I hope they know what they're doing as far as like, who is he speaking for? That's what my question is too. Like,
he's speaking.
Is it for the people in the jail, or is it for people?
It's for the people that are in the district, and that includes
that are not
the DC
in jail.
Correct. The DC jail, Harriet Tubman Women's Shelter, and residents of newly built luxury apartment buildings in that district. So he's responsible for all of them.
Like, how do you give someone who's incarcerated that type of responsibility? I mean, I get it. You probably have, done what I mean, I guess you have proven yourself to be trustworthy or whatever. And, I don't take that away, because it's like, it's hard. It's already hard enough for when people get out of jail to get
rights and all that jazz. Yeah.
So I guess, you've proven yourself, but you're still there. And maybe there's no intention of you getting out. You've been there since you're 18. And it's like, you've been there for how long? I don't know. I guess congratulations. I guess.
I mean, listen, congratulations, right? But I'm like you. When you incarcerate somebody, you are stripping them of their ability to be able to serve in the community at all. Right? Like, you can't vote. You can't participate in the elections process, especially if you have a felony. You definitely can't do a whole lot that you used to be able to do as a free man, as a free citizen. Now, mind you, he was arrested at 18. He was still a baby of sorts.
No, they charged you as an adult.
I know. But he did something that got him a whole bunch of years in prison, clearly, because he's 44 right now. Okay, so clearly he did something. So that notwithstanding, but again, for all of his purposes, he was a child, based on what I've seen with folk. It's not here nor there. The point is, like, you take all these rights away, but now you're giving him the responsibility of voicing the concerns of an entire district that he can't even go out and visit.
Exactly.
So how's he gonna? So how are you, as the DC jail, going to assist him in being able to be an informed politician for the people that he's serving? Mind you, it's free. He's not getting paid. It's not a paid position. So whether you elected as a free person or not, you're still not gonna get paid for it. But still, what is he gonna do? So that's the concern for me. It's not like he can go out and visit the women's shelter and be like, hey, I'm your representative. I want to talk about your concerns. So how are you going to set that up? You can't go to the luxury apartments. I mean, right. Collect call from DC jail. Will you accept the charges? Like, no, it's your representative. Like, no, come on. Ain't no better if you pick up that phone. So again, it's like, so that's what concerns me. Are you going to assist him all the way? You allowed him to be able to be elected. Are you going to assist him all the way to be able to do his job effectively? Nevertheless, I am grateful that they gave him a chance, because that's all that a lot of people are asking for when they are incarcerated. They're asking for a second chance to be of some usefulness to the society that they belong in.
When you get out.
Right. When you get out, but this is better than nothing for me, because a lot of people who get out don't get this opportunity.
I know, that's what's messed up to me. No. You're giving someone this opportunity who is incarcerated right now, but those who have also proven themselves while in jail get out and can't get a break.
No, you're right. You're right.
How?
And so it's so completely backwards. And so while I'm grateful for him to get a shot, and these other 4 kids that had a shot, I'm again, it's not an either or, both and. Where's the shot for the guy who gets out of jail, but because he's got a felony record, can't get a job? He ain't even trying to be elected. He's just trying to make money. Mm-hmm. Good, the right way. Where's the opportunities for the guys who were in on just possession charges? They were just little bit of crack or a little bit of marijuana or a little bit of whatever. But now they got a hit on their record so bad and so heinous that they have no choice but to sell drugs just to keep food on the table. Trying to be kingpins, not trying to be like the dude on Power and trying to be Ghost. None of that stuff. No, I'm just trying to make that my kids can eat. Like, where are the opportunities for them to do that? Again, I'm glad that he gets this opportunity, and maybe this can be a gateway for other cities and other states to be able to give guys a chance to make good on their intent and their desire to do better and be better for themselves. But again, give those same opportunities, those same pathways to those who are out, because they need it just as much as the ones who are in.
Good, more.
So much more.
Out in the world. I mean, in people who are incarcerated, like, yeah, you don't have, rights like you used to and the freedom that you used to. But I think about the people who are just getting out who have nowhere to go.
Come on.
You have somewhere to lay your head down at night, even though it may be hard or it may be cold. Like, you have somewhere to, use the bathroom, or you get your 3 meals a day or whatever. And then these people who get out, it's like they're barely making it. They become homeless, fighting for survival. Like, and I get it. I mean, I know you fight for survival in prison too sometimes, a lot of times. But it's like, I don't know. It's just a little backwards to me. Like, you give this responsibility to the one who is in it, but the same people who may have worked harder or just as hard, like, they get out and they can't get a break to save their life. And
it just shows how backward our country has been since the dawn of time. You're living in a country where they gave us Juneteenth, but several states are trying to tell the teachers not to teach race, not to teach things on race and race relations and all that kind of stuff. So it's clearly we live in a backward country. I mean, been living in a backward country since it was founded. So it just is what it is. Our hope is that, like I said, like, it can be a gateway to see, hey, people can change, people can grow, people can be different. Stop it. Hey, what we trying to say? We're trying to go the other direction. Brooklyn Nine-Nine. But again, hopefully, it'll be a gateway to show the world that it's possible, that people can change, and that, hopefully they can look at this as a model, not just for those who are incarcerated, or for those who are out as well. But again, only time will tell. You have any questions or comments, fill out a comment box below. We'll try to get to the best we can. Watching the Puzzle Podcast with Eddie and Nicole here on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. We are presented by Quality Content.
No, you didn't say that.
Stop it. We are sponsored by 4 Point Puzzles. We are also, mess me all up now. Also sponsored by Wonder Puzzle Company, Puzzledly, and the Very Good Puzzle Company. All right. Our last story is not a story. It's a Facebook video. Oh. My wife sent me a video of this, and we're just gonna have to describe what we saw. There was a
big old whale.
Go ahead. Talk. Go ahead. So there's this big old whale. This lady is swimming in the ocean, and there's this whale, right? And the whale was circling her, and she was trying to understand what was going on with this whale, to where this whale kept just circling around her, and she was terrified that the whale was trying to eat her. That we thought it was a fish, that she was a fish and was gonna get eaten alive. Wow. But then the whale got up under her and pushed her to the surface of the water. And when she looked up, she saw a shark about a half a mile, no, not even half a mile, maybe like a fifth of a mile away from her. And so she realized at that point that the whale was trying to create a barrier between her and the shark. And so because she kept it outside of that barrier, he was basically thinking, let me show this chick what's going on and pushed her to the surface.
And it's not, and he didn't even push her up to start, because she was in that water with that whale for about 10 minutes. Mm-hmm. And he was basically being her barrier, mm-hmm. because, he would go above her, but then he would go beside her, and, she said she'd be right next to his eye. Now, you have to picture, this is a huge whale.
This ain't no baby
you are probably
shark.
The whale's eye and you are probably about the same size.
Right. He looking at you like that.
Okay. Like your whole body is the whale's eye.
Right.
I was just looking at this and I was like, oh my gosh, this is why the ocean and the sea animals so much, because it is just so, to look at this, it's just in awe to see this, and that she caught it all on camera, because she had a body cam, and I think she had a camera.
Selfie stick.
Yeah. And she caught all of this on camera. Like, you see how huge this creature that God created is. Mm-hmm. And the fact that it knew
you're gonna die.
It was danger, Molly,
right.
Danger.
You're in danger.
It protected her.
Mm-hmm.
It would swim around her, and then it would swim next to her, and then it wouldn't like leave her alone. Mm-hmm. And finally, when it pushed her up, and mind you, it pushed her up at a time where a ship was nearby. Because for these 10 minutes, I'm guessing there was no ship nearby. Mm-mm. But it pushed her up when she was close to a boat. Mm-hmm. And when she could finally, get out and see, she's seen a shark. Mm-hmm. And I'm just amazed at, I'm wondering, well, did you think this was a child of yours because of her suit? Did you think, it's just those, and I wondered if it was a woman. Those just maternal instincts just kick in.
Right.
Okay, I see this. This is something that's not familiar here, but it seems harmless. There's a shark. Let me protect it. That's crazy. Mm-hmm. You gotta go. Watch this video. It's crazy. It is.
And so it's just like we're saying always, man. If you can't see the good, be the good. Even the animals get it. Even the animals get it. Some of them. Now, if it was a lion, it'd be a whole different conversation. But, who knows at this point? Like, if you can't see the good, be the good. This whale saw an opportunity to do some good and took it. and in doing so, saved this lady from a bloodthirsty shark who probably was going to mistake the lady for a guppy or whatever, for a sea lion or whatever, and just attack off instinct. Right, just gonna attack off instinct.
Let me see what this is.
Shark gonna be shark.
Tastes good.
Right. Let me go get some more human. Like, it's just, that we watch the documentaries all the time. The animals are doing what animals do. Mm-hmm. So it ain't like they're, going outside of their nature. They just doing what they do.
Mean or bad.
Right. So again, for this whale to come in and say, no, not today, Nibs. You ain't getting this one. It just goes to show that there is something in the animals even today, despite the fact that sin is coming, corrupted the world and all that there's still something innate in some of them at some point, at some times, where that maternal instinct kicks in to protect, even humans. And so again, it just goes to remind us that there are some good things going on in the world. If you can't see the good, be the good. And so I was glad to be able to get to see that.
Diving.
Yeah, go do that and hope that a whale will protect you if a shark is nearby. If sharks are nearby you and you don't see no whale, get out.
Okay.
As fast as you can.
Please.
That's going to do it for us tonight. Right. Going to do it for us tonight. Thank y'all so much for taking the time to listen to our little podcast here. I'm Eddie. This is Cole. You've been watching the Puzzle Podcast presented by Quality Content and sponsored by 4 Point Puzzles, the very good puzzle company, Puzzledly, and the Wonder Puzzle Company. We appreciate y'all so much for your continued viewership. Stop it. For your continued viewership. We're going to package this up and have it on our pages this weekend and on Spotify as well. And so again, just thank you guys so much from the bottom of my hearts. We're going to be scouring the internet, and once we're able to find, a good batch of stories, y'all will see us on the next episode of the Puzzle Podcast right here on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. Y'all have a wonderful rest of y'all week. See you next time.